Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Evan. A lot of y'all have been requesting a Windwalker monk PvP guide, and I have been putting it off, never really recording it. Couldn't record it because of my mic, my headset, family, stuff like that. And but yeah, here it is. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. So first, we're gonna be going over talents, honor talents, macros, stuff like that. Then rotation and then burst. Talents, I run Chai Burst because it's basically the name says it all. It's more burst. It when you use Serenity, it's like a 500k crit if you have Serenity, maybe even more, maybe like 600k, and it's just really good damage. And I like having the spell that it heals you. I just like how it fits into your rotation. I ran it in WoD and it was really fun. Chai Wave, most monks run that because they got a buff, but I'm not really a fan of it because it breaks paralysis and polymorphs. If you're running with a mage in arenas, it can break polymorphs, and that's not really that good. Eye of the Tiger is also pretty good. I recommend definitely these two. Eye of the Tiger is good because it can it's just a diet. It's pretty good healing, and it doesn't seem that much, but it adds up. Like, see, it heals me for like 30k, and it does like 30k to the target, but it adds up after a while. It's pretty good healing and damage. But I'm not a fan of like dots, so I like to run, yeah, this Chai Burst. 30 talents, it's pretty much just Tiger's Lust. If Boom can root your Palady and beams him, solar beams him, and he's just sitting in that root, you can Tiger's Lust him and get him out of it. So that's pretty much that. 45 talents, Energizing Lister, these two are really bad. If you want to use burst, like let's say you have like 4 Chai, you can RSK, Artifact Weapon. You don't feel like Tiger Palming to get that Chai. You can just come out, pop Energizing Lister, and then FOF. And then it gives you your full Chai. Or if you're like energy starved and you can't use your spells, you can just use that. That's pretty good. So 45 talents is Energizing Lister. 60 talents is pretty much Leg Sweep. There's no reason to run these. This is definitely a PvE talent. You can run this if you're running with a rogue, Windwalker rogue, and you don't really need the stuns. You can run that. It's just so, like, if you're rushing DK Demon Hunter and they're just going to train your healer down, if you're running with a Disc Priest or something like that, you can just put down Ring of Peace. But even then, Demon Hunters can just leap to the target 24/7, and DKs can just grip them out, and Warriors can charge, Rogue Leap, all that crap. So that's not even that good. Level 75 talents, Healing Elixirs, Diffuse Magic, Dampen Harm is not really that good, but these two, I definitely recommend these two. Healing Elixirs is really good, so like if you're in a stun and you don't have Trinket, but you have both your Healing Elixirs, and you get low, it'll proc up, and by that time your healer can be out of CC, and it can heal you, stuff like that, or you can pour Karma, whatever. Or if you're versing, let's say, Lock, Ellie, Shadow Priest Boomy, stuff like that, any caster comp, Diffuse Magic is really good. If you don't have Karma, you can just pop that, and it reduces damage by 60%. And it can even transfer it. It's like a Karma 2.0 type thing. But I recommend Healing Elixirs, especially in 1v1s. That's by far the thing to go. Level 90 talent. People always ask me while I run Rush and Jade Win. I liked it. I played with it in MOP, and it was really fun to use. And I'm glad that they buffed it and brought it back. All 3 of these are good. I'd definitely say Hit Combo is the best. So I'd recommend y'all running Hit Combo. But Rush and Jade Win is my personal favorite. I like the rotation. I like how it fits in my rotation. And that's my oven going off. And I like how it just fits into your rotation, and yeah, that's pretty much it. X1 is also good if you want to just run in there and one-shot a Resto Jude or a Mystery Remark or something like that. Run X1. It's not on a GCD and it does pretty good damage. You can run that, and that's pretty much for like healer killing comps. Chai Orbit, Rolling Dragon Punch, Serenity. Serenity is by far the best. The damage is stupid right now. Rolling Dragon Punch, whenever you use Serenity, RSK is on the half CD, F4F's on the half CD, so you can get 2 RSKs. F4F will be back up in a few seconds after your Serenity ends, and it just reduces your CDs. And you have no Chai, so you can just spam your spells, and it's really, really good. These two are both pretty bad right now. For honor talents, Gladiator's Medallion is probably the best. Relentless is also good, but Adaptation, I don't like running it because something like a rogue or a mage or something like that can just sap it or poly it off, and you don't have it anymore, so you can just die into a stun if you're versing rogue mage or something like that. Gladiator's Medallion, I like having to be able to control when my character trinkets. I just like having that trinket. Relentless is also good if you're human or orc. If you're a human, you already have a trinket, so if you use that wisely, you can run Relentless, and that's just less CC. And an orc Relentless is just retarded right now, so you can also run with that. Hardiness for reinforced armor and sparing. Reinforced armor is by far the best. Sparing you can run if you're versing double melee, reduces some damage. not that much, but yeah, these two are definitely ones to pick. Yu'lon's Gift, Eminence, Fast Feet. Fast Feet, it's not the best. It can be used, like, if you're versing, like, someone that's just going to be training you, it's alright. But Eminence, you can just port, you can get out of the situation. Like, if they're going you, versing, you'll have that port up quicker. Yu'lon's Gift, if you're versing a Frost Mage and you can't get to him, Yu'lon's Gift is probably best for that. Fortifying Brew, Fortifying, it's just better. All these are bad now. That's probably the best. Just 20% damage reduction, it's really good. Tiger Style, Disabling Reach, Ride the Wind. If you're let's say you're playing Walking Dead or Demon Hunter and Windwalker and y'all can't connect to the healer, you can run Ride the Wind and your DK can stand in that cloud and he can like for example like this. Did not pop up. It's honor talents. I'm stupid. Well, your DK can just get in the Ride of the Wind, the little cloud that Serpent quickly is behind, and he can just run at that with a healer or something like that, and y'all will be able to connect really easy, and you can't get peeled. That's pretty good. Sailing Reach, it's alright. It's not the best, but it was like 12 yards or like 30 yards, and they got nerfed to 12 yards, now it's 10 yards. So they keep nerfing it. It's not really that good anymore. So these two are probably the best. Tiger Style is by far the best in 1v1s because you can just get across the map, heal up, and stuff like that. But in the arenas, Ride the Wind, Tiger Style is the best. These three are like self-explanatory. FOF, stun, it's really important. You really need that as a Windwalker monk. You can't just kill in one stun. You kind of have to have that. Tiger Eye Brew, you can run that if let's say you're playing with a rogue and they're gonna already have stuns. Like I said with Leg Sweep, you can run a piece. If you're playing with a rogue and you don't need stuns, you can run with Tiger Eye Brew and you can just burst down a Resto Shaman or a Warrior or a DK or something that has armor. You can just burst them down really quickly and use that. So that's also pretty good. For macros, Windwalkers, they have some macros, not a lot, not little, but not a lot. If that made any sense. So you have focus paras, your arena 1, arena 2, and arena 3 focus. That's what I have. Then you have your focus disable. I don't have that. I only have that on my bars. Not that much of a difference. I just tab target and disable. You have your focus kick. That's really, really important if you're versing, let's say, mage boomy, frozen chicken, and you're on the mage and the boomy's casting what's it called, full moon. You can just kick him right there. You don't need to worry about tab targeting or clicking his target. And yeah, that's pretty good. Rushing Jade Wind and X1. These are really, really important if you're running these talents. If you're running X1 as your level 90 talent, and let's say you're bursting down a target and with X1's out, and your mage is going to cast a polymorph onto the healer, and the healer is in the area, like really, really close. X1 does AoE damage every 1 second. So, as it sees, like, and strikes 3 enemies within 10 yards every 1 second with Tiger Lightning for 14k damage. So, it will break your paralysis, your polys, stuff like that. So you need to make sure you have a dismiss macro, so you can dismiss it. If your mage is calling out and it's going to get a polymorph, or you want to para, dismiss X1, and then he polys and it doesn't break. Same with Rushing Jade Wind. You want to have a cancel Rushing Jade Wind macro. So that way, if you have Rushing Jade Wind out and you want to para, you just dismiss Rushing Jade Wind or cancel it and para. And that's pretty much that. And then level 100 talents, 100 talents. I mean, wait, I was in macros, my bad. Then, you have like Focus Karma. I don't even have that on my bars. I did, but I replaced it with my Tiger's Lust macro. Focus Karma. It's, let's say you're versing a ret and the ret's just gonna bubble it off, or you want to make sure it stays. Your karma stays, and you don't want to just get it bopped or blocked off, or like a mage and just block it off. You can have that, and you can just karma another target instead of tab targeting it. But it's not that important. It's not really that needed, so you need to worry about it. Tiger's Lust. Like I said, if a Boomkin root beams your healer, you can just Tiger's Lust him out of that. Or if you're playing with a Frost Mage and he's just getting trained and he needs like peels and you don't have any blinks, you can give him Tiger's Lust. Or if a DK grips one of your teammates, you can give him Tiger's Lust to immediately get out of that situation. Stuff like that. And then Detox, if you're versing a Marksman Hunter, they have Wyvern Sting. A Wyvern Sting is a poison. And Detox dispels all poison and diseases. So if he Wyverns your healer, you can just dispel that. And instead of tab targeting and clicking him, you can just dispel it right away. Same with a rogue. If a rogue is bursting your healer or your mage or even you, and he has a vendetta up, you can dispel all his poisons, without clicking or tab targeting. You can just dispel them. So that's pretty good. That's mainly all the macros you need. Now let's get into burst. So if you're versing, let's say RMD, and you're killing mage, and you have a CC on your healer, if the mage has no trinket and you Serenity, he's of course going to be like, okay, it's a Windwalker monk, I need a block. And he's going to block. If you're playing with good people or against good people, he's going to block that Serenity. If you use TUD, when you use that Serenity, he's going to block TUD and Serenity, and that's going to be a waste of Serenity, TUD. So what I do is I save my TOD until the second go. So if a mage has if a mage has Ice Block, I won't use TOD with Serenity. I'll use Serenity, get Ice Block, and then after that, when they have no Ice Block, I TOD, then Serenity, and they can't get away from that TOD and Serenity, and they'll just probably die. So that's pretty much your burst right there. Your main rotation is try to keep full Chai at all times. If you have 4 Chai, don't waste the energy on Tiger Palm to get that 1 extra Chai. Use a Blackout Kick first, and then do it so you get 2 Chai. Just keep up. You're running Rush Demon, keep that up. Just keep RSK up. Just basically just use your spells, and then Artifact Weapon, like your Cycle of Windlord. I try to save that for Serenity because it's a 4-second CD, and my mage or my healer, like whatever, can clone or poly the healer at any moment. And if I use Serenity, I want to have that, so I try to save it. But and on top of that, it's monks rely on burst Serenity. They don't really do much damage outside of it. So to use that 40-second CD, it's not a big CD, but it's pretty big. So if you use that on a target without Serenity, it's not going to really do that much damage. So I just recommend saving that for Serenity. So if you want to burst a target, I recommend parrying them first. As a stutter there, I recommend parrying them first so your legs don't miss, because people can be laggy. It happens to me all the time. People are laggy, their MS is bad, and they'll be over here when they act like they're right here. So you'll leg sleep and it'll miss. But I recommend parrying and then leg sleeping and Serenity and then bursting. This is what I like to do when I burst. I have Serenity, RSK, Blackout Kick, or Russian Jade Wind. You can do whatever. If you're running Russian Jade Wind, I'll say recommend Russian Jade Wind and then instead of Blackout Kick. You can Serenity, Rising Sun Kick, Russian Jade Wind, Chai Burst into FOF, into an Artifact Weapon, and then into another ISK, and that's just really, really big damage. It's just, if you do it right, you'll have 2 Rising Sun Kits, an FOF, a Chai Burst, or whatever you're running in that talent. You'll have a Chai Burst, Chai Wave, Russian Jade Wind if you're running it. It honestly, your burst and rotation, it's not always going to be the same. I don't like discussing that, rotation and burst, because it's always going to change depending on what you're versing. If you're versing a mage and you burst or use your rotation or just whatever, and he blinks, it's going to change. You're not going to go to him and just be like, okay, Monkey Up said FOF, so I'm an FOF. No, it's going to be different. You're not going to follow same rotation. You're going to use what you have to use in that situation. So burst and your rotation really isn't that big of a deal. But for your burst, mainly para leg sweep, so that way your leg sweep doesn't miss. Just it can miss by it can always miss. There's always a chance. So para, so they're standing still. You know where they are. They're right there. You can just leg sweep. Then Serenity, RSK, Chai Burst, Artifact Weapon, FOF, RSK. You can also throw in a Rushing Jade Wind and a Blackout Kick or a Blackout Kick, one of those. In between your leg sweep and FOF stun, anywhere in between those. But if you're running Rushing Jade Wind, that's if you're running Rushing Jade Wind or Chai Burst. It really depends. So for Windwalker Monk in 3v3 or 2v2, people always ask me what's the best comp for Windwalker right now. In 3v3, I'd highly recommend Windwalker DK Resto Shaman, which is also known as Walking Dead. That's really, really good right now. The melee is just controlling this patch right now. So if you run double melee like Demon Hunter Windwalker, Demon Hunter DK, it's super good. The damage is crazy. And Resto Shamans are also really strong right now with that Earth Shield. So if you have an Earth Shield in your DK, it's going to be hard to kill DK because DK is a plate where if you have an Earth Shield in Windwalker, it's going to be hard to kill that Windwalker because their mobility, their karma, their stuff like that. So Resto Shaman, DK, by far the best comp. If you want to run a hybrid comp, I'd say Boomy Windwalker, Warlock Windwalker, even Ellie Windwalker is pretty decent right now. So those are probably my comp picks in order. But that sums up for today's video. I'm sorry this is really, really late. I tried to get it out sooner, but better late than never. So if you guys liked the video and would like to see more, subscribe, like the video, and comment down if you have any questions, and I'll be sure to answer them. And yeah, it's Evan. Peace.